60-something yards rushing. Rush was really efficient tonight and really sharp, ran well when he had his chances. It was just a really good night of football. And it was great to see Carlos Dunlap, finish it off on almost a walk-off sack, which was pretty cool and really fun. And great to see him continue to contribute and help us. I know that you've been hearing me talk about it, but we're getting well here soon. And we're going to get better, and we're going to be stronger, and we're going to be better for it. And we have a chance to really put together a good opportunity here for us by playing good ball week in, week out. So it's a big win playing in the division, and to come out of it first place, that's a good deal for us, and we're fired up about it. A couple days off too, guys are going to get 3 days off, so it's a mini break for us, and we'll take advantage of that. We've got to kick butt COVID-wise, and then we'll come back and get going for the next week.
Corbin Smith.
Hey, Pete, you were talking all week about the need to get balance on offense, and it was clearly evident with Carlos Hyde out there what a difference that he made for the offense with his hard running, the juice he gave you guys. How much did you see that impact the game plan defensively for the Cardinals?
I mean, it felt like the Seahawks, It felt like the Seahawks that we've all seen over the years. Carlos did a great job tonight. He did exactly what we needed. We needed him to run hard and run tough, knock people backwards, and make extra yards with his juice. And the guys up front responded with him. I don't know, we had 80 yards or something like that. That was a really good contribution to this effort tonight, and it balanced us out, just like we talked about. Russ didn't have to throw for 400 yards to have a big night. He had a big night throwing for just under 200, and Carlos had a great factor that he played tonight for us.
Greg Bell.
Pete, what changed for the defense, and how important is a performance like that against a top offense?
Yeah, that's really important for us. We'll see. We got to keep coming back and play and keep going. We're just really. It feels like we're just getting started. You got Jamal out there playing, and you saw more of Jordan Brooks, who's a really good ball player in our base stuff. He played a lot. Carlos did a really nice job. I thought DJ Reed did a really nice job at corner. I thought Trey played really well. So there's a lot of stuff that happened. LJ made a couple huge plays. He had a sack, and he forces the safety down in the end zone. That's just a lot of good stuff. There's no reason that we can't come together and play really good football. There's no reason. And from this point forward, we just have to get comfortable with everybody that's on, that's out there. And Shaq will return to us when we come back. Some pretty good things are happening. So I'm really excited. It was a good night for us.
Joe Fan.
Pete, did you have an idea that explosives in the passing game might be hard to come by? It looked like Russ didn't really try to force much downfield. Lots of stuff schemed open off boots and play action.
I thought it fit just right. I thought Russ did exactly what he said he was going to do. He came back and tried to play really good, solid football and make sure that he made really good, quick, decisive decisions. Did it. His scrambles were really effective tonight. His movement was great. I thought all of his decision making was excellent. He didn't force anything. He didn't put us in any kind of harm at all, and had a great night of football.
How much of that is on Brian Schottenheimer for getting him in good spots and kind of a bounce back game for him?
I think it was a good night for the whole crew. Brian, Austin, Davis, those guys working with Russ. And Dave Canales, those guys, they're all teaming together to make sure that we're giving us the best chance to do things, consistently, well, and we did it, and so it was a nice night.
Brady Henderson.
Hey, Pete, what did you think of just Carlos's game tonight and the difference he's made in the whatever it is 3 games that he's been with you guys?
Yeah, he's really he's been a boost. We've had a lot of sacks in the last 3-4 weeks now, and that's changing things. I don't know what we had tonight, but it was enough to make a factor, in the pass rush. He really helps us, and we desperately needed him. For the first week, you barely knew what was going on. Week 2, he's getting it going. He really is comfortable now. It fits right in, and it was really thrilling to see him come up with a game winner like that.
And do you have an update on Greg Olsen?
Yeah. It's a little early, but he has a fascia tear injury that he's had before in his other foot. He knows exactly what it is, and sometimes when it ruptures like it did, we think it's the best thing for a quick recovery. So we'll see what happens, and wish him the best, and hopefully he can make it back. The fact that he's already had this before really helps him understand what's coming up.
just to clarify, I'm sorry, when you say make it back, are you talking about back next season or potentially later this season?
I don't know that yet. There's been some
Okay.
marvelous returns for guys who do that rupture their fascia that would blow you away. Right now, he's in really a lot of discomfort and all that. But, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll hold a good hope and see. I can't tell you anymore. That's why it's pretty early to be talking about it, obviously.
Thanks.
Tim Booth.
Pete, what led to the decision to go with Damian at center? And then along with that, do you have an update on Brandon Shell's injury?
Well, that's our best choice. You know, he's such a good athlete, and of course, I mean, right off the bat, he gets in trouble on the play, and had a couple penalties tonight. You know, I mean, his head was full of all kinds of thoughts. It was a marvelous job by him to pull that off. You know, he started working it last week. He had been taking snaps, you know, during the early season and stuff, but he really, because of the injuries last week, he had to get ready to maybe to back up, and so now he's forced to action, and he pulled it off, you know, and so in a winning effort. He's a really, really good football player. He's really smart, and he's so poised. He handled it really well, and he'll only get better. So that just makes him that much more versatile.
Mark Schwartz.
Pete, as you mentioned,
wait, hold on one second. You asked about Brandon Shell. Brandon Shell got a sprained ankle. I don't know how bad it is. I don't know that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Pete, you talked earlier about how Carlos Dunlap really didn't know what he was doing because he was new to the team. Now that he's been with the team for a few weeks, what kind of impact do you think that he could have on your season given his pedigree?
Yeah, well, first off, you know, he did everything he could. He showed up on Wednesday, so the first week, and so it's pretty hard to really absorb all the stuff you have to absorb here. But anyway, he is going to be a big factor for us. He just is a really good football player. He's a monster of a guy out there. He knows the game. He can adjust well. He's flexible and can do a lot of things for us. He's learned his stuff beautifully already, and away we go. So I think it's a very positive effect on us at this point, and it's going to be only better. You know, we're a couple weeks away from seeing Taylor come back to us too. That might be a real good boost we can get, and it'll be nice to see how it all fits together here. We got Benson Mayowa back for the first time in a while. I don't know how much Benson played yet, but it was great to have him back out there too.
Art Teal.
Pete, you guys got 3 sacks and 7 quarterback hits on Murray after getting 0 first meeting. What was the biggest difference?
I think, you know, Kenny went after him differently and adjusted stuff from the last time we played him. You know, maybe you don't see it this way, but the last time we played them, until like 3 or 4 minutes left in the game, we had been in pretty good shape with these guys, and we had done some really good things. I went back and watched the film tonight before the game just to go ahead and see it one more time, and we played like that throughout the whole game this time. So we were adjusted, we were ready, and we took advantage of Carlos being part of it, and some of the situations we moved some guys around, and it worked out really well.
Jackie Montgomery.
Pete, you touched on it earlier, but Arizona came into the game leading the league in rushing. How are you guys able to eliminate that from their attack?
It was really, Jackie, it was a really, really good job by the guys on the edge, and Carlos was part of that. You also saw KJ as part of that. Alton Robinson came in, and Benson. All those guys had to do their job to keep that running game from getting on the perimeter. You saw him get out a couple times, but really just play after play after play, the guys just kept executing really well, and were really disciplined about it. And this guy poses so many problems. He's been a nightmare for defenses, and tonight we felt like we had a pretty good feel for what we needed to do, and the guys executed it beautifully.
Curtis.
Yeah, Pete, you mentioned the success of the running game tonight and how big of a boost that was for you. Was it even more so maybe because you had Damian at center, Jamarco at right guard, and Cedric even at tackle later to keep them from teeing off on Russ?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, we got guys jumping in to play for, you know, Damian's never played center. I don't even know if he ever played center when he was a young kid. And you know, Jamarco jumps in at guard, and those are major opportunities for us to be in trouble, and our guys came through. We could have been a hard night against a good group, and it wasn't. The guys came through beautifully. The coaching was organized just right to take advantage of them, and then you could see the feel that Carlos gives us. That's what we've been looking for. That's what we've been talking about. That's what Chris brings, and it's a different. We're a whole different team in style when those guys are pounding away at it. So, Chris will play next week unless he has a setback. He'll be ready to go. Rashad Penny is only a couple weeks away from being back. So we're getting stronger if this works out, right? And we could be really healthy going down the stretch here.
Maz Vida.
Is that the epitome of optimism? we're leading the league in injuries. I'm telling you how strong we're going to be down the stretch. But I don't know. That's what it feels like.
Fair enough, Coach. Going back to the defense, the discipline and execution, is that due to the continuity that's building? Because you've talked about that.
Yes.
Is this what it looks like?
It is. It's what we've been waiting to see, and you just have to keep the guys out there together so that they can communicate. There were so many situations in this game tonight when KJ to Jamal to Bobby, and to Diggsy, and talking about stuff that we had to fix and tweak as the game was going on, and their ability to just handle that and make good choices and stuff just kept us a step ahead the whole time, and that's what happens when you play together. That's what continuity looks like, and that's what that you just have to be out there. You have to find the time. We have not logged enough time together to max it out, but who cares? That's already gone. It's what we're going to do about it now that counts, and we'll see if we can pull this thing together.
Last one for Coach Chris Francis.
Hey, Coach. DK Metcalf, obviously a lot has been made about him going up against, tougher DBs, but he handled himself well tonight against Patrick Peterson. And there was a brouhaha